The symbolism of the rhinoceros. Members of the rhinoceros family are some of the largest remaining megafauna, with all species able to reach or exceed 1 ton in weight. There are only 5 species left, although many more are now extinct, including some believed to have been woolly. Furthermore, the IUCN Red List identifies the black, Javan and Sumatran rhinoceros as critically endangered. 2 species are native to Africa and 3 to southern Asia. Both African species and the Sumatran rhinoceros have 2 horns, while the Indian and Javan rhinoceros have a single horn. Rhinos have been killed by trophy hunters in the past, but the biggest threat to their existence is demand for their horns, which are bought and sold on the black market. East Asia, specifically Vietnam, is the largest market for rhino horns. By weight, rhino horns cost as much as gold on the black market. The Vietnamese, Chinese and Taiwanese believe the horns to have therapeutic properties. Given that the horns are made of keratin, the same type of protein that makes up hair and fingernails, this is obviously nonsense. And once we start to investigate, we find that the demand is caused by one of the worst and most tragic misunderstandings of mystic symbolism there has ever been, a level of ignorance that may wipe out the entire species. The rhino as a titan. To many cultures, the rhinoceros was a symbol of an intelligence of great power within the pantheon of gods. In the Ta Prohm temple in Siem Reap near Angkor Wat in Cambodia, it is shown as being the god responsible for one of the elements, earth, water, air and fire. Agni, fire and purgatory. The Khmer art in the reliefs of Angkor Wat temple show Agni, the god of fire, with a rhinoceros pulling his chariot, his bahana or means of transport. The ring of fire level is associated with purgatory. We have a separate video on the symbolism of flames, fire and purgatory that will give you more detail. In the so-called Heaven and Hell gallery at Angkor Wat, 12th century, there is a rhino tormenting the damned. But by the 18th century, depictions of Agni in miniatures show him riding a goat or a bull, masculine creative power, because by then rhinos had all but disappeared from most of India. Rain. If we now go to Africa, rhino symbolism played a very large part in their overall symbol system. The Sotho-Tswana societies, for example, regarded the rhino as a major deity, and just like the elephant, it was featured in rain-making rituals. There is more to this than meets the eye, however, as rain is symbolic of spiritual input. See our separate video. Wisdom, healing, inspiration. The Bantu-speaking communities across southern Africa associated both the solitary black rhino and the more sociable white rhino with leadership, skin and atoms. Rhinos have a thick, protective skin, formed from layers of collagen positioned in a lattice structure. This gives it symbolism that links with the cosmic egg, the loom, and aggregation, and we have videos for all three. The symbolism is complex and shows very advanced metaphysical thinking for societies once classified as primitive. The golden rhinoceros of Mapungubwe. The golden rhinoceros was recovered in 1934 from a royal grave in northern South Africa, close to the border of Zimbabwe. It was made by a craftsman from the 13th century kingdom of Mapungubwe, a very wealthy kingdom that had control of the gold trade. Animal symbolism was very advanced. 3 of the 27 burial sites contained symbolic animal figurines in gold, such as rhinoceroses, a crocodile, an ox, and a cat. These figures were found alongside gold sceptres, a bowl, bracelets, bangles, beads, nails and discs. The rulers lived on a hill, and all these things have significant symbolic meaning. Gold was transported to the coastal town of Kilwa Kisiwani in what is today Tanzania, several thousand miles away, and traded. Arabs acted as the go-betweens. There is still a ruined mosque there. All symbolism was eradicated from the Islamic religion, and it would seem that the traders took the symbolism of the twin horns literally and took this literal interpretation to China. Both twin horns and a single horn are symbolically the conduits of spiritual energy, healing, inspiration and wisdom. So as China was also sinking into materialism and literal interpretation, actual physical rhino horn became associated with healing energy, literally instead of figuratively, and the mass killing of rhinos for their horns began and continues even today. The 8 treasures are popular in Chinese art and on Chinese numismatic charms, and the pair of rhinoceros horns is said to grant happiness, but not for the rhinoceros. A final requiem. The Javan rhinoceros was once the most widespread of Asian rhinoceroses, ranging from the islands of Java and Sumatra throughout Southeast Asia. Aside from humans, they had no predators in their range, but the horns have been a traded commodity for more than 2,000 years in China. It is critically endangered, with only one known population in the wild and no individuals in captivity. It is possibly the rarest large mammal on Earth, with a population of as few as 58 to 61 in Ujung Kulon National Park at the western tip of Java in Indonesia. The Javan rhinoceros population in Vietnam's Cat Tien National Park was declared to be locally extinct in 2011.